world of Sea of Thieves, there's a plethora of different enemy types you can encounter, such as this skeleton, gold skeleton, ghost skeleton, or fire skeleton, and you guessed it, even a bigger ghost skeleton. Okay, fine, you may know the individual enemy types, but do you know the best way to take each one down? That is what you will be learning in today's video, so strap in and get ready to learn how to kill each enemy in Sea of Thieves. First, we should start by trying to understand the three main types of enemies you can face in the game of Sea of Thieves. There's skeletons, sea creatures, and world event bosses. We will begin with the different types of skeletons, starting with the OG Skelly Boy. This skeleton is the most generic enemy you will encounter and is meant to be like a zombie for Minecraft. These guys offer little to no pushback, and the most efficient way to eliminate them is to sword dash them into oblivion. Next we got the Ghost Skellies. These guys are the exact same as the last ones, except that they don't like the sun. Essentially, if it's daytime, you can just sword dash them like normal, but if it's nighttime, you must bring out your lantern and cast light onto them, and then sword dash them. Moving on to the Gold Skellies, these guys do not like water. If you splash them with water using your bucket or lead them into a body of water, they will rust and are then a one-shot. You cannot use your sword on these guys at all. It must be a firearm. Another way to get these guys is to light them on fire using fire bombs. There's also these skeleton captains and ashen key guardians. These guys are loaded with more health and drop captain orders, ashen chest keys, and gold pouches. Lastly, there are veggies. These guys, unlike gold skellies, love the water. If they enter water, they get an increase in health and become so much more annoying. So keep them far away from bodies of water and then sword dash them just like the rest. Now we will take a break and move on to the various sea creatures in the game, starting with the Siren. These guys will appear out of nowhere at the most inconvenient of times, and their warning to let you know they're coming is this nice little song. And since these guys only fight in the water, there's really only one way to kill them. Shoot them from afar and stab them if they get too close to you. They have ranged and close attacks, so they are versatile. They're one of the most annoying enemies in the game, so just hope you don't see them that often. Sharks. These guys are possibly the dumbest enemy you can counter in Sea of Thieves. They attack in a straight line, and if you're snazzy enough, you can just juke underneath them to avoid taking damage. Pretty much all you have to do to take these guys down is just shoot them 3 times with either a sniper or a pistol and just keep on swimming. There's also phantoms. These ghastly pirates will appear on vacant islands or at sea posts. These guys are pretty easy to take care of. All you have to be aware of is their dash attack, as it essentially is a sword dash. Otherwise, a couple shots with any weapon and they go down pretty easy. Lastly, you got the ocean crawlers, or as I like to call them, the Disney mobs. Introduced in the Pirate's Life update with Jack Sparrow, Rare also introduced these 3 guys: a crab, hermit, and an eel. The crab has the most health, and you ought to stay away from him because if you get too close, you will get one-shotted. So staying far away and shooting him is your best option. He can also use his coral shield to protect itself, so when this happens, grab your sword and start slashing it to open him up. The eel is very fast and mobile, shooting these balls of electricity that will deal a moderate amount of damage. You should also shoot this guy from range, as if you get too close, you will get shot. Lastly is the Hermit. This mob is also very agile, and he will shoot a poison cloud at you when you're in close range, so with this guy, it's also smart to keep your distance. These 3 will appear together in groups, and are sure to cause a lot of annoyance during a stack or just general pirating. Now on to the big boys. The world event bosses, starting with the Meg. There are 5 different Megs, all with slightly different spawn rates except for one, but we'll get to that later. There's the Hungering One, Crested Queen, Shadow Maw, Ancient Terror, and lastly the Shrouded Ghost. I made a short on how rare the Shrouded Ghost is, so if you care to see that, there is an annotation at the top right of your screen. Other than that, defeating a Meg is simple. Once one spawns, I would recommend stopping the ship and having your captain angle the cannons towards the beast. If you're on a sloop, it should take 10 to 13 cannonballs, a brig will take 15 to 18, and a galleon will take 30 to 32. If the Meg bites your ship, it will create 1 to 5 holes depending on the crew you have aboard. You can cancel the Meg's attack if you notice it swimming towards your ship, ready to bite. If you land 3 to 5 cannon shots on the Meg during that attack animation, it will stop his attack. Once you eliminate the creature and send it back to the depths, you will be rewarded with a small amount of trinkets and a bit of Megalodon. The Kraken is another beast that you may encounter on the seas. The Kraken has 3 moves. It can slap your boat, causing damage similar to a keg. It can wrap around the boat, causing your boat to stop moving, and it will squeeze to cause extra damage. And the Suck move, where the Kraken tentacle will grab you and throw you to the bottom of the ocean if you fail to go below deck before it gets you. You can eliminate the Kraken by shooting each of its tentacles 3 to 5 times again depending on the crew size. You'll be rewarded with a little bit of loot per tentacle you slayed, and then a little bit of meat. Now we'll move on to the Skeleton Lords. These guys guard the many skeleton forts scattered across the map, and act as the final boss to this world event. They have short and long range attacks, but all take around 15 to 25 cannonballs to eliminate, or about 2 to 5 minutes of constant blunder shots if you stay consistent. And again, the health is determined by the crew size. Ashen Lords are similar in design to the Skeleton Lords, but their attacks are even more aggressive. They can throw meteors at you as well as breathe fire, so it does add a layer of complexity when you face these guys. It's best though to just keep shooting them with the blunderbuss from up close to deal the most amount of damage. They take a little bit longer to kill due to the increase in health, making it take around 80 cannonballs or 80 blunder shots. Lastly, there's the most dangerous enemy of all. Other players. Players have 100 health, so keep that in mind when I start going over how much damage each weapon deals. A cutlass deals 25 damage, meaning 4 consecutive strikes will eliminate a player. Sword dashes, on the other hand, do 60, meaning 2 of those will do the trick as well. The flintlock does 55 damage, making it deadly after 2 shots. The Eye of Reach does 70 damage, meaning it also takes 2 shots to take someone down who is full health. Blunderbusses, though, up close do 100 damage, making it a 1 shot at the right range. Now, with all that said, I feel like you guys will be very prepared when the game launches on PS5 on the 30th. However, if you're still craving more, check out my last video where I detailed how to have fun in Sea of Thieves. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you on the seas.